Hello, my lovely Cancers. This is your reading for the week of December 8th, or when you hear it and it resonates. It won't be for every Cancer, of course, and it could be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot of Cancer in your chart. Now, we're having some pretty interesting weather here. You may hear the sirens in the background. I think there might have been some vehicular events. Cancer, as I was starting to work with your energy, what I saw was this. I saw you whistling, and I heard the words whistling into the wind. And I went, what? And then I heard not anymore, singing to the stars. Now, what does whistling into the wind mean? Well, basically, when you whistle into the wind takes the sound away, so you don't have a song. But I think if I were to look that up, it would be a little bit more apropos for what we're talking about. Making futile or pointless effort to achieve something that's impossible or unlikely to change. So there you go. Now, what I'm looking at is the transition from whistling into the wind to singing to the stars, because singing to the stars is very different. Whistling into the wind implies, of course, that what you're doing is ineffective. Now, Cancers, this is important, and I feel quite excited saying this to you, because singing into the stars to me has a very, very specific meaning, because it's something I connect to something. I connect to a major turning point in my life, and I was not singing into the stars, but what I was I was speaking into the void. I was speaking my intention to the universe, and that's what singing to the stars immediately brought back to me. Now, Cancers, we know you've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work, Cancers, to be able to understand love and loving in a different way, and to start taking chances on allowing yourself to experience things differently. One of the things that can happen, certainly when we've had experiences of feeling unloved or unseen, or let's just stop with those two, is that we can protect ourselves from going further in any relationship, protect ourselves from feeling that again. But in doing that, what we do is we also shut out the possibility to experience the kind of love and the kind of understanding that we so deeply want, that not having enough of hurt us so badly. So in protecting ourselves from the missing of that, what we actually do is we create the missing of that. Now, this is not just for Cancers, of course. This is for anybody who's dealing with wounds of that particular kind, right? And there's a whole mechanism there that I won't go into at this point. But basically what I'm feeling with this reading is Spirit is very much saying to you, Cancer, as much as you have felt, and I do feel like this has a lot to do, with love, just because that's so much of what you've been working on. And again, not always love with another person, self-love too, right? Love, big love, capital L love. I feel like this is very much about your ability to, not just romantic love, but to be in the world in a way where you can exist in it, expecting to experience the kind of loving and caring, because caring and friendship as well too, is feeling that which you actually really long for, but have perhaps convinced yourself you didn't need, or that you made up for by loving other people in some way, thinking it would come back to you, but it never did. Or even convincing yourself it didn't matter, but loving somebody else was good enough because it was still loving. But that doesn't work that way. Energy doesn't work that way. It's got to be reciprocal. There's got to be turnaround, okay? So, Cancers, the cards that came in relation to this are intuition, service, and stop and allow. So, to me, this is brilliant, because when I talk about singing to the stars, that's the feeling I'm getting. You are speaking to the universe. You are singing the song of what you want. And the fact that you are putting the energy out there and you're using your words, your voice, your power to send it into the universe and say, this is it. This is what I want. Expecting that the universe now is going to give it to you, because that's what the intuition card says. It says basically, intuition is not something that only some people have. Intuition is something that everybody has. You just have to kind of open it. It's a gift that you've got. Well, what is intuition? Intuition for me, it's about dialoguing with the universe. It's about being aware of the fact that there is a dynamic, creative life force that exists within you and around you, and that when you choose to channel that life force with clarity and with intention, understanding that we are all on this earth to live and learn and love and grow, and we're all helping each other all the time, and it's okay to ask for what you want. You're being told every time you start having a wonderful feeling or a dream or a possibility and you stop yourself, check in and say, how did that serve me to stop that positive thought? Why did I do that? And can I change that right now? Allow yourself to imagine that your life is now different. If you were on vacation and you would look around the world, around the room, and you were on vacation, if this was the first time you saw this, if this was your hotel room coming in, okay, you might say they didn't get the dust bunnies under the corner, that would be mine. But you'll notice something, even your own living room that you have, been in a lot. When you walk in expecting it to be as though it is your vacation hotel suite or whatever, you look at it differently, right? It's the lens you decide to look at something through. So you're being told, okay, if you're starting a vacation, if you're starting your life tomorrow and you get to look at your life differently, how would you reframe it? How would you reframe what it is you want? What would you want to have? And where do you need to forgive other people and yourself in order to be able to set yourself free? But you see, that to me goes along with the service card, because the service card is, service can simply be a way of thinking that permeates all of our normal daily activity. It holds the attitude that the world is a place where we're all here to help each other in some way and embody that. So here you are. Stop and allow. Check in whenever things are not going the way you want them to go. Notice when you interrupt positive thoughts with negative ones. Ask why. Okay? And if you find yourself going, no, that can't happen. No, now's the time to go, you know what? No, I'm singing to the stars. I am singing to the stars. So whether it's true or whether it's not true, today I'm going to allow for the possibility that it is. That's all. I'm going to imagine that now my life is different. I'm going to look at my life differently. Do I need to forgive somebody? Can I forgive myself? That's okay. Doesn't matter. I can do that because we're all here to learn and grow. So as we're all learning here to grow, and sometimes we'll hurt each other, well, you know what? I'll just keep moving on that score. And I'm going to say, it doesn't matter. Just for now, it doesn't matter. You are in conversation with the universe, Cancer. You have big open hearts. You're channeling a lot of the time. Notice the patterns that are holding you back. Notice, this is a big theme right now, the patterns. In fact, I just looked up what the full moon was about, and it was about, this is a time of us being able to understand our emotional and mental patterns. It's a powerful time for that. So within conjunction with that, what I'm also feeling, and this is important, is while we're doing that, it's to remember not to get stuck in what the patterns were or to criticize ourselves for those patterns. That's, I think, why the forgiveness card is coming up and the stop and allow card. And on vacation, look at yourself differently now. Okay? Cancers, I'm leaving you with that. I think this is quite lovely. Take care.